What up? Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Critical Warrior here, aka Crit. I hope everybody's having a great day. Listen, I am doing things a little bit differently today. I am talking about video games today instead of actually playing these video games. Subscribe to Critical Warrior. Who's this? A Talk to a podcast. Hey, I am all alone. I'm home alone. The the kid isn't here. The wife isn't here. So here I am. I'm drinking my tea. And I'm having some Halloween. So I'm having some leftover Halloween cookies. Talk to. What's up, everybody? Yo, Leon, hello. Talk to. Yeah, we're doing a Talk to podcast today. Reporting for duty. Hello, Phantom. Hello, Local. Smart Cat. Subscribe to Critical War. Yo, what was your original name?
Here we go!
What was it? Yo, Dre with a follow. Thank you, Dre. I really appreciate it. Hey, Dre, I got a question for you. I'm hoping that you're still here. But my question for you is, Dre, what is your favorite video game of all time? It is a podcast. Yo, y'all, everybody has been asking me for a podcast. A lot of people have been not everybody. That's a little over exaggerated. That's a little hyperbole. I'm exaggerating that number, but a lot of people have been asking for a podcast. I'm just here gonna hang out, and we're just gonna talk about video games. That's all that's all I know what to talk about. Honestly, I only know what to talk about is video games, and then we'll leave the actual playing of the games at our usual time, right? Thursdays, Fridays, Sundays, and Mondays. All right, so Dre says that their favorite video game of all time is Fallout. All right, I get the Fallout series is an excellent series. I gotta say, it's I think it is. Besides the Elder Scrolls, I think the Bethesda Game Studios or Game Studio best game is Fallout 3. A lot of you say that Fallout New Vegas is your favorite Fallout game. But I'm going to throw a curveball at you right now. I'm echoing. Oh, gosh. Hold on. I'm echoing, y'all. Give me a second. I think it's happening on TikTok. Give me a second. Let's see. Microphone. Got it. All right. We're good. Fixed. I think we're good now. Anyway. Fallout 76 was actually created or made by a different studio. It was not created by Bethesda. Fallout 76. Oh, sorry, not Fallout 76. I'm lying. Fallout New Vegas. Excuse me. Let me just go back for a moment. Fallout 3 was made by Bethesda. So was Fallout 4. Fallout New Vegas was made by an entirely different studio. And that studio, you actually know about this studio. Maybe you've played some games from them at some point. Excuse me, I'm eating cookies and like the cookies are getting stuck in my throat. But the studio that made Fallout New Vegas, they're called Obsidian. Obsidian Entertainment, Obsidian created and made Fallout New Vegas, which to some people, Fallout New Vegas is their favorite Fallout game of all time. Hey, James, thank you so much for that follow over on TikTok. Hey, James, I got a question for you. What is your favorite video game of all time? Local over on YouTube says that they play Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2, is that right? I think Black Ops 2 is probably the best Black Ops game that they got. But I think Black Ops 6 is about to take that crown. If I'm being completely honest, I think Black Ops 6 is going to be the best Black Ops game that's ever been made in every single way. The single player is phenomenal. Zombie mode is fantastic. And the multiplayer is just solid with the added Omni movement mechanic. Pretty solid stuff. Oh my gosh, it's Tatum. Tatum, I'm trying out something new. I'm not playing any video games right now. I'm just talking about them. I'm just running through, maybe for like an hour or something. I'm just gonna sit here and talk about video games. And that's it. Yeah, thanks. It's nice to be doing this. It's nice to be doing this while like everyone's away. My kid is at daycare. My wife is at work. I got the house all to myself. So Fallout 9 is better. Yo, Axel, what's up? Yeah, I do. Of course I do. Why did you change your name to Schlumbus? What is Schlumbus? But yeah, we've got a few things going on right now in gaming right now. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Look at this. Sony commits to releasing major single player games every year from 2025 onwards. So what's cooking? Sony's high-profile live service struggles have seen the cancellation of Naughty Dog's The Last of Us multiplayer game, and most recently the disastrous release and then unrelease of Concord, which resulted in the closure of its developer Firewalk. Amid the turmoil, Sony has reaffirmed its commitment to major single-player games. This doesn't come to a surprise for me. It really doesn't. It doesn't come to a surprise for me. What's up, Chipmunk? What's up? How you been? How's the week? This doesn't come to a surprise for me. Look, Sony, I don't understand why we have to go through this ringer of like gaming companies wanting to get into the live service. Before I go even further than that, the definition of a live service game, in case you're unaware and want to get educated on this, a live service game means a game that is supported throughout its life cycle, right? That's what that means. So games like, for example, Fortnite is a live service game. Overwatch 2 is a live service game. Diablo 4 is a live service game. Those types of games, they're always running. They're online. They have battle passes. They have things to do with the community, right? Like you keep going to them. There are constant updates coming out for the game to keep players engaged, to play the game every single day. And that's basically what a live service game is, right? Sony tried coming out with a version of their own live service game, and it was Concord, right? Concord was a game that they tried coming out with to compete in the, I guess, 4v4 first-person shooter arena multiplayer games. That was their goal, right? This game right here, and it didn't do so hot. Like, this game didn't do very well. Like, Concord, I think it came out, and then 2 weeks later, Sony canceled it. Let's take a look at this game real quick. Hold on. Let's see if we can find, and I'll show you. It got a decent rating. You know, like it got a 7.
Rat cult spreads through Gotham.
It got some decent reviews.
Stop it.
And people love these games. Yeah, exactly, Tatum. Like, people love these games because they love live service games. Because they keep updating it. You know, it's not like a normal game, like a single player game, like God of War or Harry Potter, or not Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, you know, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Like, those games are like single player games. You put in 40, 80, 120 hours. You're done with it. You go on to the next game. Some people don't like that. Some people just enjoy playing games like Fortnite, and it's like a service, right? Like, Epic Games is always updating. They're always updating these games, right?
It still has a lot of growing to do during its live service evolution.
This resolution is awful.
Against an opposing team and a variety of formulaic game modes. Those include a standard deathmatch mode, a kill confirmed mode called Trophy Hunt, and a zone control mode called Clash Point, to name a few, none of which possess even the slightest hint of novelty, but being overly familiar isn't necessarily a bad thing if you've got best-in-class gunplay and awesome characters with compelling powers to back it up. And boy, Concord has got both of those down pat.
I will check the Discord. Yeah, just let me finish my thoughts.
Concord sagely keeps its weapon selection very slim, with just 1 or 2 options given to each character by default, and no way to customize that. But the upshot here is that every single weapon feels incredibly responsive and finely tuned, and no 2 characters have weapons that feel at all similar.
So this game is, Concord is like, you know, a game like Overwatch, right? You can see on the top of the screen, you got 5 players, it's 5v5. It's a live service game. So Sony's plan was to support this game throughout its life cycle. Here's the problem with that, though. The live service game market is overly saturated. Meaning there are just too many games. Like, there are too many live service games. And people's time can only go to so many different places. You know what I mean? We're playing Fall Guys tonight. And so people's attention span can only, it's limited. You know, like me for example, I cannot play Fortnite, Halo, Fall Guys, what's another live service game? Overwatch, right? There's a lot of things. Oh no, I'm just hanging out notification. I'm just hanging out. There's too many live service games out there. Yeah, people are sick of these games. People are sick of these games because there's just way too many of them. And if you're going to compete, you got to make sure that your game stands out. Like, it stands out. It can compete with the other live service games. You know, a game like this coming out, Concord, it's a good game. Like, it plays well, it played well because it's shut down. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. But it plays well, and it's smooth, right? Sony makes really good games, so of course this is going to be a good game. The only problem is that people are already. This game came out too late. Like, they've been working on this game for I don't know how many years. I think it's been like 5 or 6 years. And within those 5 or 6 years, games like Overwatch and Fortnite and Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty Warzone, all those other games are they're at the peak. They're like at the peak of their game. No pun intended. Like, they're literally at the peak of their game. People who play Fortnite, they're not going to leave Fortnite to play Concord. They're going to keep playing Fortnite because of the amount of content that you can find in Fortnite. People who play Call of Duty, they got that season pass. People are not going to leave the season pass, the battle pass or whatever. It's like $10 for a battle pass. If I was playing a game and I already spent $10 on a battle pass, I'm not gonna switch over to another game and play and pay another $10 for that battle pass. So it was already too late. It was too late, and Sony what they should have done is exactly what they've been doing for the last like
Here we go!
since the beginning of time of game making, right? Since the start of them making video games. And they are the best at making single player games, without a doubt. Sony and also Nintendo, both companies, they are the best at making single player experience games. With the exception of Mario Kart. Mario Kart is that game is amazing. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Hey, Trix Lover 2, thank you so much for that follow on TikTok. Trix, I got a question for you. I got 2 questions for you, actually. Are you still here? Because I don't want to ask it if you're not here. So yeah, it's definitely too late for Sony. They should stick with what they're good at, making single player games. That's what they're good at. That's what they need to stay with. I mean, they made God of War, Uncharted. I don't know if you played Uncharted before. Uncharted is a fantastic game. They've Ratchet and Clank, also excellent, freaking excellent game. Ratchet and Clank. Let's see. They've made so many good games in the past. And at some point, I guess they were like, we should try to get into this live service bandwagon. But the live service bandwagon has been running for like the last 10 years. And 10 years later, they're here trying to release a live service game, and there's literally it's hard to count how many live service games are out there. So you're asking for people to like leave the game that they've been playing for 10 years and play this new game. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And that whole industry, the live service industry, I have mixed feelings about it. Like it's a good industry, but at the same time, it's good in the sense that it provides like new content every single like every 3 months, right? Every quarter in a year. But at the same time, it's I don't know, it sucks the creativity out of like thinking outside the box. That's my opinion. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank is freaking awesome. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank since PlayStation 2. I would say my favorite Ratchet and Clank was the one on the PS4. I think it was called Full Frontal Assault. Right? Yeah. Oh no, it was on the PS3. Yeah, this one was good. I like this one a lot. Oh my gosh. And as I say that, the very first video says full frontal assault is the worst. But in my opinion, it's the best. It is one of the best, I think, in my opinion. It was great. I loved it. I loved it so much. Yo, let's check this game out right now. Empire of the Ants? What the heck is this? Let's check this out. Mario Party Jamboree?
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague.
You know what I love?
I have to stop it.
You know what I ended up loving about the new Mario Party games is that they finally added online multiplayer. Oh my gosh. And I heard Jamboree is like it's like one of the best Mario Party games of all time since the Nintendo 64 Mario Parties. All right, let's check the Discord real quick. Hold on. Before I get into this Empire of the Ants. Let's check out the Discord real quick. That's what I heard. Mario Party Jamboree is a quick way to ruin friendships as well as Overcooked. The Overcooked series is also it's like the quickest way to burn bridges. All right, let's see here. Gosh, so many messages. Dang, look at you guys. Oh, what? Dang, look at New York City. What? Damn, people selling your stuff. What am I looking at here? I love me some dancing pugs. Love it.
Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Yo, Pierre, you wanna come in here?
Yo, I like that MC Hammer haircut. That's good. Let's see.
This is a certified hood classic.
Yo, that camera is going so fast, I don't even know what's happening right now. Look at this guy with the tree on his head. I don't even know what's going on. Oh, look at the food. Dang, yo, you got that vanilla wafer with a coffee. Yo, that's delicious.
Where am I?
That's delicious.
Where's Reznov?
You will answer our questions. Do you understand?
Who the hell are you?
That's not important. What's important is who you are. What's your name?
Fuck you!
Where were you born?
Kiss my ass!
I love cat videos. It's one of my favorites. You're clearing out Discord notifications. I know how you feel. All right, let's see here. Empire of Ants. Let's see what this is. Oh boy. Oh my god, you're an ant. You're literally an ant. Oh man, this looks good though. Oh my gosh. Online multiplayer 1 versus 1 versus 1. What does that even mean? Declare war? Manage your troops. Oh, this turned into like a real-time strategy game. Look at the ladybug. I love ladybugs. If there's like one insect that I'm not scared of at all, like zero fear, it's a ladybug. Zero fear. I think that's the only bug actually that I'm not even scared of. I'm not scared of them at all. Hold on, I'm checking my phone real quick. Interesting. So it's basically a real-time strategy game. Real-time strategy game. Shigeru Miyamoto. What we create is more important than the amount spent on development. I like that. Nintendo is so deep with their like game development process. I don't think I've ever played a bad Nintendo game. Like the scale of a Nintendo game from like, I would say anywhere between 7 to 10 is what they make. And it's very rare that they make a 7 game. Like very rare. I would say the only ones that were ever like a 7 were like the spin-offs. Like the spin-off Mario games, like not Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi's Yarn. That Yoshi Yarn game, I forget the name of it. And a few other ones that are just like super side games, but they charge like $70 for those games. You want Empire of Ants? It does look pretty good. Like living the life of an ant. It's like you're playing. It's like the movie Ants, right? Like the movie It's a Bug's Life. But it's the video game version of It's a Bug's Life. Let's see. What else we got on the news here? Dragon Age, man, been wanting to play that one. I've been wanting to play that one. Death Stranding is out on Xbox now. You can get it on Xbox. I've never played Death Stranding, and I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to play Death Stranding. Mufasa the Lion King? What? Oh, they're making a Mufasa movie. Yo, Disney just doesn't know when to stop. They need to slow down. Call of Duty Unrailed. Let's see. Star Wars. Sprawl official consoles reveal trailer. No. Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh man, that's such a good game. Horizon Zero Dawn is excellent. Sony says it should have done user testing and internal evaluation earlier. Come on, stop making excuses. Lego Horizon. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 dev says Xbox Game Pass helped convince people who were on the fence to try the game. But now the challenge is to convince them to stick around. Yeah, I would say like Game Pass, I have Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is if you play a lot of games, it's one of the best purchases that you can make because they're always coming out with a steady stream of games, like all the time. And you'll never get bored. I swear. They have hundreds on hundreds on hundreds of games on Xbox Game Pass. And every couple of weeks they come out with something really good. Yeah, I didn't like any of the live action movies. I didn't like any of them. I mean, I would say I take that back. The only live action movie from Disney that I enjoyed watching was Beauty and the Beast. That was the only one. I genuinely like that one. Maybe because I'm biased and I'm a huge fan of Emma Watson. But I liked it. Honestly, like I liked it a lot. Definitely a good movie. Like it's definitely on like the top of my live action list, and it's the only one. Pokemon trading. Why Mario and Luigi brothership is a disappointing return? Oh no. Mario and Luigi, I heard it was pretty good though. Let me see why they're saying that. Check this out. Let's see what they mean by that. Oh, Maleficent. Yeah, that's another good one. Angelina Jolie was actually pretty good. Like she makes a really good Maleficent. Like she I actually liked her character. Like, you know, like because we all had this like outlook, this perspective of Maleficent as like this really malicious, evil character. But that movie brought a different light. Like she's just a mom who cares about her daughter. You know, like that was probably part 2. But Maleficent, like the first movie, that was also very good. It just you see, I like it when movies do that to villain characters, like they give them a like, you know, like a human characteristic that we all share, right? Like as human beings. And it whereas like Disney movies, they're all like just, you know, the actual Disney animated movies, they always have like those really artificial cut and dry evil villains just for the sake of being evil.
Pokemon trading card game Pocket is out, and I heard Reb has been playing a little bit of it. $12 million worth. Tantalizing new official details about the Nintendo Switch successor were revealed by Nintendo itself on its corporate Twitter account. All this and your questions, and you know what? 4 smiles from 3 of my favorite people in the world. This is NVC 734, and I am joined by Reb Valentine. 3 of my friends.
Get to the good stuff.
This is so weird how this got announced. Like, you know,
Nintendo corporate management policy briefing, which hell yeah, of biggest Switch fears, and one of them being that there was not going to be backwards compatibility. Well, our Nintendo Switch dreams have been answered kind of partially. They confirmed backwards compatibility on the Nintendo corporate management policy briefing, which hell yeah, let's go.
Okay, I know what I heard about this. So if you have a Switch, if you have a Nintendo Switch, apparently the next Nintendo Switch, whatever that is that comes out next year, it will have backwards compatibility, meaning you'll be able to play all of your old Switch games on the new Switch, which I think is a really good move because Nintendo has had this history where you cannot play your old games on newer consoles except for the Wii. I think the Wii was the only exception. On the Wii, you could play your GameCube games, which was smart. And then on the Game Boy, like on the Game Boy Color, you could play your old Game Boy games. On the Game Boy Advance, you could play your Game Boy Color games, and so on and so forth. But then it got to a point where they stopped doing that. So like you couldn't play your Nintendo Wii U games on your Switch. So your games that like the hundreds and hundreds of dollars that you put down on for new games are probably sitting there. You want to go back to them and play them at some point. But yeah, it is smart. Dang, if they had a Tamagotchi, man, I think they do though. I don't know, but they should have that. 100%. They did have a game like that on the Nintendo DS. I'm not sure if you had one or not, but it was called Nintendogs. And it was basically a Tamagotchi, but you were taking care of a puppy. And you would do everything that you would do in real life to take care of a puppy. You would feed it, take it out on walks, groom it, pet it, play with your dog. You would have to you would enter it into competitions, like dog competitions. Yeah, that was a really good one. Yeah, me too. That was like the first game I owned on the Nintendo DS. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one. It was so wholesome. It was just a really good game. And on the Wii U, you can play Wii games if you had a Wii controller. Yeah. Yes. And you also needed if it required for you to move, if you needed to use the motion sensor on the Wii, you also needed that black bar, the motion sensor black bar that you had to connect to your Nintendo Wii U and your Wii. You needed that as well.
This is so weird in their minds.
Just be for your digital library. Oh, the monkey paw. Does the team have this concern? How does this affect your current libraries? And I'm going to say I did not have this concern until I read this question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Nintendo move right there. Rib, what are you thinking?
Like the phrasing that they used on that tweet, I was just checking it again, was, Nintendo Switch software will be playable on the Nintendo, whatever they said, the Nintendo Switch successor, which the way they phrased that is so, they didn't say it's going to be backwards compatible. They said you can play Nintendo Switch software on the Switch too.
That is concerning.
Could mean anything.
That is
could
concerning.
Mean they're going to port some selected games. That could mean a select digital group, a selection of digital titles will be backwards compatible, but not all of them. That could mean that the digital stuff doesn't work, but cartridges will. I mean, there's an endless feast of. Yeah,
Nintendo really left it open forum on that. Okay, so traditionally, a backwards compatible game, in the traditional sense, you could take the cartridge and insert it into the console, into the new console, and you get to play the game. But as far as there might be some other ways that Nintendo could do that. So let's say, I would suspect a different way of doing it is if you're the type who's purchased their games online, you buy the digital version of the game, aka not the physical copy, right? You go into the Nintendo eShop and you buy the game, or you go on the Xbox game store and you buy the game on there, whatever. Maybe that's another way of doing it. You'll be able to play those games that you bought digitally and play them onto your Nintendo Switch, but you will not be able to play the actual cartridge that you purchased from GameStop or Best Buy or whatever and play it physically on the new console, which that would be a huge mistake on Nintendo's part. That would be, if they did that, if they took that approach, that would be a very big mistake. I think a lot of Nintendo players, like myself, I play a lot of Nintendo games. I own a lot of Nintendo games on physical copy, and I think that would be a really bad mistake because my Nintendo Switch is like 7 years old. I think that's how old I got my Nintendo Switch the year it came out, and I think it would be a very, very big mistake should Nintendo release their next console without that cartridge backwards compatibility. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people still do that. Like I feel like a lot of people still like they buy their games digitally because it's just convenient. You know, it's just super convenient. The only caveat to that is when you buy the game digitally, you don't actually own the game. Like what I mean by that is that you're basically it's like a lease. Like you're buying you're it's a lease that you never have to return. You have an OLED model. Yo, the OLED Nintendo Switch is pretty sweet. Yo, having that extra screen space in there is nice. And the colors on that game on the OLED model is pretty nice too.
Things that could possibly mean, some more likely than others. So yeah, I mean, this is Nintendo being a little dodgy. I do think it's maybe not a coincidence that this was announced alongside the Switch Online thing. It's possible the two things are related.
Oh my god, yeah, like you can play it, but you need to have an NSO subscription.
Like, what if? I don't know. It's who
Damn.
can say what Nintendo is thinking in their minds?
Maybe you
Yeah.
just have to, running.
Oh, sorry, Jade. I was just going to jump off that and say I can dive into that a little bit more and say that in the actual financial report documents that they released on their investor relations website, which I dive into every 3 months. I'm one of those people that jumps in.
It's not a bad, as far as investor relations websites go.
It's actually really good. They put a lot of info on there.
Yeah. And the reason I think that this was announced and the reason that coincided with the NSO thing, it was a whole part of this presentation from Nintendo to its shareholders about how they're going to transition these console generations. And basically they talked about the importance of the Nintendo account, of which there are hundreds of millions of at this point, the importance of Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, and then just thrown in there, they said, oh, and software will be playable on the Switch successor. And there's a little note in the document that wasn't a part of the tweet that said, in addition, Switch successor owners will be able to choose from a broad selection of Nintendo Switch software to purchase on the Switch successor. So it's sounding like there is some sort of shop carryover as well. But like you were saying, we don't know what that's going to look like. Is it going to be
that's what I was
everything drag and
that's
drop,
what I was talking
returns?
about. Like,
is it going to be first party only?
Your digital games might carry over, but your physical copies won't. And that NSO account is such a mess, to be quite honest. I guess Nintendo's done a lot better with that NSO stuff, in my opinion. But Nintendo is always looking for ways to make money. Like, I feel like Nintendo is just like Apple. Like, they're just, in comparison, Nintendo is like the Apple of like video games. And they always charge like premium prices for their games, for their subscriptions, for their services. And there's also that possibility that they could end up charging customers like a monthly, like maybe like a monthly fee, or maybe include that into their NSO account in order for you to play all of your old games from the Switch onto the new one. That would be awful. I hope they don't do that. I really don't.
Your account, well, that good news for you. That game is, available to play digitally now on your Switch 2 hardware. So it's like everybody else has said, it's really up in the air. We don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure Nintendo will formally announce it when they announce the Switch 2, or in one of their subsequent showcases or directs talking about the features of it. But until then, it's anybody's guess. I think I'm probably
like Take-Two's earnings yesterday, and we did EA's the week before, and like Ubisoft and all of these other major publishers, they're like digital, the percentage of their sales that are digital is up there in the 70s, 80%. Some of them have like 90.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Like most players, most gamers, they buy their games online. Like they just buy them online. I do that for some games. But yeah, Nintendo has to watch out for the people who buy their games online.
I think Take-Two is pushing like the 90s at this point is the percentage
crazy.
of sales that are digital. They're just not selling physical copies anymore. And so,
It's
you know,
crazy.
you have like these occasional news stories where companies decide not to release physical editions of their games anymore,
Yeah.
or decide that like, you know, they're going to go to a different style. I mean, we've been doing discs for a while, so that's a little less of a concern, but Nintendo and the cartridges is maybe more of a question. But I think pointing out that of all of the publishers, Nintendo is the least likely to abandon its physical audience is probably
Yes.
a good thing too.
And it's
remember.
actually important to point out that in the is it Circana now that does the numbers? Is that the name of the company? The analysts are saying the Switch successor won't be announced this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was only partially right because I think
I'm definitely buying the Nintendo Switch 2 when that thing comes out on day one. Hey Tatum, have a great night. I'm probably ending this this stream pretty soon too. I'm probably ending it in like 4 minutes. I'm probably gonna end it on this note here on the Nintendo Switch 2. I will be there on day one, and here are my requests for the Nintendo Switch 2. The first thing I want backwards compatibility. Physical, digital, both. I want both versions of that. Digital compatibility or backwards compatibility. That's what I want. The second thing that I want from the Nintendo Switch 2 is I want better controllers. Like, the Joy-Cons are cool. Don't get me wrong. The Joy-Cons are cool. But I can't tell you how many Joy-Cons I've gone through because of that stupid ghost issue with the joysticks, with the analog sticks. I've gone through so many Joy-Cons because of that issue. I'm not sure if y'all have run into that issue before. But yeah, it's pretty bad. What's up, Glitch? I'm about to end the stream. But anyway, welcome. And what else? What else do I want on the Switch? I want a good freaking screen, right? Like the OLED. The OLED Switch is fantastic. I'm not against the size of the screen. I think the actual screen size on the Switch, on the OLED Switch, is actually quite perfect. But they need to make those colors brighter. We need a high definition screen. I think that would be great too. Period. Like, that's another thing. The fourth thing that they need to do, give me some better speakers on the Switch. The speakers on the Switch are just awful. I know the console's like 7 years old. I get it. But in today's world, you do not have an excuse to put in good speakers on a Switch. Yo, Glitch, I'm glad that you're doing better. I'm glad you're doing better. It is Thanksgiving, almost Thanksgiving. I cannot wait for my week off, to be quiet. I'm just going to play some video games on my week off, honestly. And what else do I want on the Switch 2? I mean, I'm not asking for a lot. I just want better battery life, faster performance, high definition screen, better speakers, and better controllers. That's just the Joy-Con situation. It's pretty bad. Like when I'm playing the Switch on handheld mode, I don't know if this happens to you, but my pinky finger and my ring finger, they start to go numb after I'm sitting there for like maybe 30, 45 minutes of game time, of gameplay, and I have to stretch out my hand because it's going numb, it's falling asleep. That happens to me a lot. So I just want something that is, something that feels good around my hand. Yo, Glitch, I think we've all been there. You're not the only one, Glitch. Like, I go through that a lot, honestly. I go through that quite often. And I think everybody does. We just need to talk about it, talk about it every day. Talk about it. Let your feelings out. Let people know how you feel. No matter what they think, just let people know. Let your friends know, let your family know. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, Glitch. You got to do what you got to do.
I don't remember what NVC.
But anyway, that's it, guys. I am going to end the stream right now. Thank you so much. I will see you tonight on Fall Guys Friday. I'll see you then. I like this. I'm going to keep doing this moving forward. I'll probably do this once a week. Just kind of get on here, talk about video games for like an hour, and just hang out. So thanks, everybody. I will see you tonight if you're on. Have a great night. If you're not on, Glitch, have a good one. Notification, Tatum, everybody.